let's get started here. We got a lot to cover today. We we're getting well into chapter 15, section 1. So to start off with, this right here is what you blended folks are looking at. Do your warm up, watch the video, then go to your period, your Google Classroom period to take notes. Okay, so let's say, for example, you're in my third period class. All right, so you need to go to third period right here. You need to click there, and then you need to go under classwork, and you need to open up chapter 15, section 1, and you need to view assignment, and then you need to start taking your notes underneath the chapter 15, section 1. You could click right there, and you could start putting your notes in, down here in this area where I've already written notes across there. So great example right there of what you can do where you can take notes. So, but that's not what we're doing right now. You're taking notes. I'm the one that's about to give you some notes. So let's get started here. We need to open up the green book right here. So let's open up the green book right here. And where we're going to pick up is, I'm pretty sure that we hit fats yesterday. And I've passed it. But I'm going to pick up with fats because I'm not I can't remember if we covered it or not. So let's go ahead and hit fats again real quickly here. Fats, right there is your definition. All right, fats is, I think, number 6. And fats are, right here is where you need to write down the definition. Fats contain more than twice the energy of an equal amount of carbohydrate. Okay, so hit pause and then I'll explain it to you. All right, so we're talking about fats, and fats is, say for example, if you've got something that's got a lot of fat in it. Okay, let's say a piece of meat that's got some fat in it. And let's say that you've got a cube of meat that's got a lot of fat in it. And let's say that you've got a cube of bread, a very small piece of bread. Well, if you compare the two, the fatty meat is going to have way more energy because that fat has more energy in it than the carbohydrates is. So fats are just loaded with energy, and that's why you don't need to eat fats right before you go to bed, because if you eat them right before you go to bed, you're not going to have a chance to walk them off. For example, right now, I would not hesitate. Here in a few minutes, I got to leave and go coach a football game in Coleman. So I'm going to be going up and down the sideline a lot tonight. Right now, I wouldn't hesitate eating a candy bar before I went to the football game because I'm going to work it off tonight. But I shouldn't eat a candy bar right before I go to bed when I get home tonight because I'm about to lay down and I'm not going to work off that energy. Eating a bowl of ice cream right before bed is a bad idea. Shouldn't do that because those calories are just going to be added in as you. You're not going to work them off, and they're going to become fat. Part of your fat overnight. So. Fats are just high energy. They carry with them twice as much energy. All right, so let's move on to the next word here. All right, the next word is cholesterol right here. And cholesterol is a waxy, fat-like substance found only in animal products. Cholesterol is a fat-like substance only found in animal products. All right, hit the pause button. All right, so you've had time to type that in. You've got that typed in now. What is cholesterol? Well, you may have heard your parents or grandparents or somebody saying they're having trouble with their cholesterol. Well, what's going on is inside their blood, they've got a lot of animal fat. And when you eat fatty foods that have a lot of animal fat in it, steak, barbecue, if you eat fried chicken, those have a lot of animal fats in them, and that fat can make its way into your blood. A good example of this type of fat is when you leave when somebody cooks bacon in your house and they leave the pan on the stove and that bacon grease starts to it starts to cool off, how it turns white and thick. Okay, well, that's like kind of some of the stuff that starts running through your veins. And over many, many years, 51 years old, that stuff can start accumulating in your heart. And if it blocks off blood vessels in the heart, it can lead to a heart attack. So as you grow up, you want to avoid eating large amounts of animal fat because it can lead to heart problems as you get older. As a child, don't lay in bed worrying, am I going to have a heart attack tonight? You're not. But it's something that somebody like my age, it's in the back of their mind. Have I exercised enough? Have I tried to not eat so many fatty materials? And cholesterol is a way that doctors can check and see how much animal fat is in our blood. And it could, if we got too much, it can be a problem. So it's a good way to figure out maybe if you're having in the early stages of heart disease, is by checking cholesterol. All right. Okay, let's come down here. All right. Now, another building block in the body is proteins. Now, proteins, the definition that you need to write is right here. Proteins are needed for tissue growth and repair. All right. Hit pause. Type that in. All right. So, where's some places where we can get protein? All right, well, here's some protein right there. A big old T-bone steak. Yes. Meat is filled with proteins. Here's another example right here. Fish, cheese, chicken, almonds, beans, pecans, and other walnuts and other types of nuts, beef. All of these are great types of they've got proteins in them. You'll find it in apples and in avocados, spinach, broccoli, lemons. All of these things have proteins in them. And proteins are essential because your body needs them in order to repair tissues and to grow new tissues. You are young. You're still growing. You're gaining height. Well, in order for your cells to grow, you've got to eat proteins so that your body will grow. Even if you hate proteins, I hate steak, you still need to eat some of it because it has key essential items in it to help you grow up tall. Okay? Now, not only do you need them just to help you to grow, you need them to repair broken or damaged tissues. I may not have told the blended classes this. My youngest daughter is in Alaska right now. And this is her cat. His name is Finn. And Finn is lonely right now. She sends me text messages. Hey, send me a picture of Finn. I want to see Finn. So I'll take pictures and I'll send them up to Alaska so that she can see what Finn has looked like. And here is last night's picture. And Finn was not happy. Finn was a grumpy kitty last night. Right after I took this picture, I was petting his head, and don't know if you'll be able to see it. Yeah, you can see it. You can see it right there. I've got a scratch right there. He scratched me, mean old cat. Now, my body is going to use proteins from the things that I eat, and it's going to use it to repair the skin and the blood vessels and all that's in my thumb right there to help it to heal and get better from that cat scratch that I got last night. So proteins are super important. We have to have them. They help us to repair our body. They help us to grow. You've got to have them. And you've got to eat a wide variety of them as well. You need to eat You need to eat these different things that you see here, because chicken one night will be broken down, and then the next night you eat beef, well, that will be broken down, and then the next night you eat a pork chop, it will be broken down, and the materials that are on the meat is going to be used by your body as building materials. All right, so what are some of these materials called? Okay, well, proteins are made up of things that are called amino acids. And right here is amino acids. And the definition for amino acids: proteins are made up of small units called amino acids. Hit pause. Okay, what are amino acids? Okay, so when you eat that chicken that we just described, okay, Dad cooks chicken tonight on the barbecue for you. Okay, well, your body will break that chicken down into amino acids, and you're going to store some of those amino acids. Tomorrow, you eat meatloaf. Okay, that meatloaf is going to be broken down by your stomach into amino acids, and you're going to store some of those. And then the next night, you're going to eat, I think I said a pork chop, or you may eat fish or something. That meat is going to be broken down, and those amino acids are going to be stored. And then when your body grows or needs to repair tissue, it's going to take those building blocks and it's going to build your body. It's going to put them where it needs it. It's kind of like when you are building a house. Okay, if you only eat one type of meat, I only eat chicken. That's it. Okay, well, that's about like saying I'm only going to build a house with bricks. Only bricks. So that means that your house, the inside walls are going to be brick, your windows are going to be brick, your doors are going to be brick. That's not going to work out too well. But when you only eat certain items and that's it, you're going to have issues. And you may say, well, what about people that are vegetarians? Well, vegetarians, if they are true vegetarians, many of them will take supplements, vitamins and minerals to help their body deal with whatever they're missing, whatever vitamin, whatever proteins and other amino acids that they're missing out on. So, it's real important that you eat a varied diet. You need various things in your diet. All right. Okay, what's the next word here? All right. Another thing is vitamins. And for vitamins, you need to write down: vitamins act as helper molecules in a variety of chemical reactions in the body. Okay, hit pause. Okay, what are vitamins? Okay, vitamins, all right, you may remember when you was a kid, you may have taken, not that. You may have taken these. You may have taken Flintstone's vitamins. All right, these look very familiar when I was a child. This is what they look like. All right, so what this is these little pills right here, or these gummies as they have them now, they've got key vitamins that you need to help your body to do certain things. For example, this box right here, it says help support bone health. In other words, these Flintstones right here has calcium, vitamin K, vitamin D. If you'll remember, we studied vitamin D. It's made by the skin. It's important for important healthy bones. Okay, well, Flintstones right there gives you those vitamins. Okay, so you'd have what you need for good healthy bones if you took those regularly. Flintstones are just one type of vitamin that's good for teenagers. Could take them. Heck, I could take them, because everybody needs vitamins daily. So there's nothing wrong with taking Flintstones or other types of vitamins. There are adult vitamins as well. So vitamins is just a way, it's just something that you can take, or it's something that's in food that helps your body to do something important. Right here it talks about vitamin K. Vitamin K, for example, helps your blood to clot. Helps your blood to clot when you get a cut or scrape. So when Finn cut me last night, it was vitamin K that made it stop bleeding. All right, so a list of vitamins are shown right here. Vitamin A, D, E, K, B1, B2, B3, B6, B12, biotin, folic, pantothenic, and C. And here it tells you where you get those vitamins, and here's where it tells you what it does in your body. You ought to read that. It's quite interesting what these vitamins do for you and where you get them. All right, so let's continue on. Now, another thing that we must have is minerals. All right, so minerals, let's get orange here. All right, nutrients that are not made by living things are called minerals. All right, hit pause and then we'll talk about that. Okay, let's talk about minerals real quick. Okay, minerals are items that your body needs that do not come from living things. Now, you can get them from certain vegetables, okay? But the vegetable itself does not make that item. Huh? What do you mean by that? Okay, one of the things that you need is calcium, healthy bones. Where can you get calcium? Milk, cheese, dark green leafy vegetables. Now, the broccoli here does not make calcium. It is soaked up through its roots, and that's how you get the calcium. These things, I could give you a shovel, and you could go out and find most of them. Okay? So, take a look at this one, iron. Now, I'm going to ask you the same question. This iron right here, is this the same type of iron that is used to make this iron pencil holder? No, it's not the same. Yes, it is. Iron that you have in your body is the same as the metal that makes up the legs and a desk. It's the same thing. Okay, now I know some of you are going, I don't believe that. Well, there is a cereal that's out there that is called Total Cereal. It's really good for you, and it tastes good too. And it's a whole lot better for you than Captain Crunch, Cinnamon Toast Crunch, and all that other sugar cereal that y'all eat. If you'll look right here, it says iron, and it says that it has 100% of the daily allowance that you need. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, let me show you the iron that's in it. This right here is a video that is on YouTube, and I'm pretty sure that if I play this and the sound, I'm sure it'll go through the sound and the microphone in this camera here. But watch this video real quick. That's definitely not it. All right, time out real quick. Now we get the sound. All right, let's try again. That's a magnet. Notice these are the iron filings. All right, so what in the world is going on there? Okay, let me bring myself back in the picture here. So there's iron, there's really iron, real metal in your body. And what that does is when you take a breath, blood has iron in it. That's why it's red. It oxidizes and it turns blood red. Excuse me. I'm sorry. Excuse me. Turns your blood red. Yeah, I know you're all laughing at that. I should have hit the pause button. Don't care. Um, it turns your blood red. Now, what iron does in your blood is this: iron grabs oxygen. So when you take a breath, the blood that's flowing through your lungs, as the air goes in, the blood in your lungs, the oxygen or the iron grabs the oxygen in the air, and then it carries it to wherever it's needed in the body. Okay, and so that is why you have iron in your blood. It's just used to grab oxygen. Now, somebody earlier today, and I didn't think about this. Somebody asked a really great question. They said, "Are there animals out there that don't have red blood?" And yes, there are. Now, what that means is if they don't have red blood, that means that they've got another metal in their blood to grab oxygen. A good example of this of a creature that does not have red blood is the horseshoe crab. Now, you may have seen horseshoe crabs, pictures of them. They don't have them down at. I don't think they have them in Gulf Shores. I'm pretty sure that where you find these guys are in the South Carolina, North Carolina beach areas. But I don't think that they're native to Alabama. Here's a little baby one right there. But these things can get pretty big. In fact, you see, if you look at this one right here, you can see a hand in front of one. They can get to a pretty good size. All right, so why am I showing you this? Well, their blood is not red. All right, here is a picture of them being milked. If you'll look right here, you will see the crabs. And if you'll look right here, you will see that they are donating blood. Not willfully, of course, but they are donating blood. They are not killing these creatures, by the way. Just like me and I give blood, and then I have to wait a few months before I give it again. Well, they do the same thing with these creatures. And if you'll look right here, you'll see that they are tapping them and they're getting some of their blood out. They not enough to fill up a whole bottle. A full bottle has to be done by several of these horseshoe crabs. But what they do is they use this for medical research. And notice it's interesting. It's a really pretty blue color. Well, that's because they got copper in their blood, and copper is used to grab a hold of the oxygen. And so copper, when it is combined with oxygen, it turns bluish green colors. And there you see that it's blue. So interesting, really cool observation right there. I think it's interesting. Oh, and by the way, the experiment that you saw before, that just shows you that there is real iron filings or iron in our food that we eat, and you can do that experiment at home. I mean, there's nothing to that. Get a healthy cereal. I would crush it first, then put it in a Ziploc bag. And then instead of water, I would put milk in it, because when you use milk, the white stands out real well against the black iron that you'll eventually get. Get you a real good magnet, put on the Ziploc bag after about an hour, and you'll get iron filings just like that. It's really, really cool to see. All right, everybody. Well, that's it for science today. Get those definitions. We're coming up tomorrow. We'll probably be starting on the review sheet, and that is why I have said that we will have classes online tomorrow. So those of you that are at home, tune in tomorrow on Google Meet during your class period, and we will talk to you all tomorrow. Have a good day. God bless.